Your Father knows what you need before you ask Him. Matthew 6:8. J'ai aussi écrit ça en français si tu lis pas en anglais. I hope you guys find this video very useful and God bless. Bonjour, hey guys, welcome back to my channel. Afy Elizabeth here, and I'm back again with another video. I hope you're doing well. I hope you're feeling blessed. If you're not feeling blessed, I hope you be blessed. I hope you're blessed. Today's video is going to be about study abroad. I did a study abroad vlog last year, and the vlog was only like 3 vlogs, and some of y'all are asking for the vlogs, and some of y'all don't care, but it's okay. It's okay. I didn't want to post any more vlog because I felt like they were boring, in my opinion. Like, it's just me walking around showing you guys a site. I wasn't showing enough of my personality. I felt like it was just one of those keep it to yourself type of vlogs. And as time went on, I kind of got into the whole let me live the moment and not try to record everything. And it was kind of awkward for me to just bring this big old camera around of me, you know. Hopefully one day if I do go back, I'm able to relive the life via camera, and you guys are also able to experience it with me. But anyway, today's video I'm going to be talking about study abroad. I'm going to answer some questions about study abroad. Some of you guys, they leave questions below on some of my vlogs about study abroad. So what I did was I got some of you guys' question, and I also went on Google and I looked up questions that some people are, you know, concerned about, or, you know, typing up trying to look for an answer, and if that even made sense. So let's just get into this video. So I studied abroad at Paris, or in Paris. What I did was, instead of spending a whole year in Paris, I did a good month in Paris. I decided to do it that way because I didn't know if I was gonna like it if I went a whole year. Studying abroad for a whole year is a lot, and you coming from a different country, you kind of have to get used to the whole culture difference, and you also get culture shock. Let me first go back a little bit. I was raised in Paris. I'm Congolese. I was born in Congo. Grew up until age of 4, and my parents moved. My mom and I and my brother moved to Europe before coming to America to join my father. So that's a little background. So I grew up in Europe. So I went to school in Switzerland, went to school in Germany, and then I started my kindergarten through 1st grade in Paris. So if my English is a little bit off, I'm still, you know, I still struggle every once in a while. So if I mispronounce some words or my sentence that makes sense, hold it there, smarty pants. Chill on me, okay? Chill on me, okay? Some of y'all still mixing up yours and you are. Chill on me, there and theirs. Chill on me, okay? A little backtrack. So if you feel like I'm doing too much, skip ahead. So yeah, so with me going to Paris, I chose Paris because, one, I'm fluent in French. I wanted to go somewhere where I knew the language, and I was also studying the language. My minor is French. My major is communication study with a minor in French, the correct way of saying it. And I wanted to do any francophone speaking country. I wanted to do any francophone speaking country. So France for me was my go-to because I was raised there. I was kind of familiar with the, you know, the culture, and I just wanted to, and it just seems chic, you know. It's the most beautiful city and country and, you know, sightseeing place in the world. So for me, France was it. So yeah, now that you got a little backtrack of my background, where I'm from, my major, why I chose France. Let's get into these questions. I'm going to answer these questions one by one so that I can limit my time on here and I won't stretch out this video. One question, the first question is, how much should I save before studying abroad? It depends on how long you're staying there. When I went there, I had over $2,000. this was like a last minute thing. Financial aid, because the government does pay for my schooling. They were able to pay for the tuition area because, let's just rephrase this. They were able to pay for the tuition because it was a class. They do have this program where they help you pay little by little. I would say, to answer this question particularly, I would say save up around $3,000. It depends on how long you're trying to stay. That's not including the flight ticket. And that's definitely not including the flight ticket. So overall, the flight tickets are around $1,000. I don't know how it is now, but when I went, my flight ticket two-way, a round trip, was around $500. So I did a good saving on that one as far as ticket. But most of my classmates spent around $1,000 for their flight ticket, and that's a round trip. And some of them came to France with $1,000 and they were able to manage. Some came with less than that and they were still able to manage. It all depends on you and how well you are with money and what you're trying to do up there and how long you're trying to stay. So the budgeting part around thousands is fine. If you're good at managing money, you'll be fine. That's just me. You'll be fine. The second question is, how do I pay for studying abroad? Now, for me, how I paid for it was financial aid. I didn't have to pay out of pocket. The government paid it for me as far as like student loans. If you live in America, you can go to your advisor. I highly recommend you guys to go to your advisor, financial aid advisor, and they will actually help you with the financial part of paying for studying abroad. What I did was I went to my academic advisor, and then I also went to my foreign language advisor. Those two explain things differently in my opinion. If you go to your academic advisor, that person is going to tell you how much you have as far as like student loans to be able to cover for the class. And then your international advisor, which is your foreign language. I don't know how some people's university work, but we have a foreign language program. That foreign language advisor, what she did was she broke down exactly how much it will cost for me to study abroad. So basically, she was more informative than my academic advisor. So that's one way I would say to get that figured out. How much do you pay for your study abroad? Go to your academic advisor and go to your foreign language advisor. They will help you out with the entire process and tell you how much you need, how much the deposit costs, and they will even put you on a payment plan. I can't talk. They'll put you on a They will put you on a payment plan, and that plan will help you out when it comes to your payment. This is called payment plan. So with me, I signed up late for my study abroad classes, for the class. So I wasn't able to be part of that payment plan. I had to pay the money, half of the money, and then the school was able to cover the rest and then refund me back whatever I had paid them, because at the time it was more like I had to pay out of pocket in order for me to be secure to go. So I would say academic advisor, international academic advisor, and they will put you on a payment plan if you want to be part of a payment plan, because I know not everybody got it like that. Okay, if you got it like that, sis, give me some if you got it like that. Sharing is caring, just like I'm sharing all this for you. So yeah, payment plan is usually the top request, the top thing that they give when you're about to go somewhere. So just request for a payment plan, and they'll break it down for you each month. You pay a certain amount until you equal out to the amount that you owe them to study abroad. Okay, that was a lot. Number 2, what's the coolest place to study abroad? For me, the coolest place was Paris, because it's the most beautiful place in the world, in my opinion. I went to Paris, and it wasn't like I didn't go to a university, because I was going via a class program, a foreign language program in my university. It was more like, you know, I went with the class and we toured Paris. We just learned about historical grounds of France. So for me, that was interesting because when I was there, when I was younger, some of those things I didn't even know existed until we went back with the class. So it was pretty cool. I can't talk today. It was pretty cool. So the coolest place, depending on you, where you want to go, where your school, where, you know, places that your school is offering, those are the coolest places. It all depends on your interests. My interest was France. That was the coolest place for me. Number 3, how difficult is it to pack for study abroad? It was very difficult for me to pack, okay? Very difficult. Because in my mind, I'm thinking, you know, I'm going to be there for a month. Let me pack extra clothing, extra shoes. What if we go out to eat? I need shoes for this. I need shoes for this event. If you know my page is all about fashion, beauty, and hair and faith. And the fashion part, I overextended that when it came to my packing. Pack clothes that you think will benefit you throughout the week. Don't pack too much. My problem was I packed too much to the point where, like, when it came to my shopping part of the trip, I wasn't able to fit a lot in my suitcase. My suitcase was overweight, so I had to buy an extra suitcase because of the stuff that I packed. And then on top of that, I had family members who brought me some things, and that added more extra pounds to my suitcase. Sis was going through it, okay? My roommates were like, bro, I started, at some point I wanted to negotiate putting my clothes in somebody's suitcase so I can, you know, lose some pounds. And it was just too much for me. I ended up buying another suitcase. So coming back to America, it was a struggle. I had a carry-on backpack, I had a purse, I had a big suitcase, and I had a small suitcase. It was just like too much to handle. I'm pretty sure my teachers were saying something deep down their heart, like, this chick, I don't know who she thinks she is, but she came out here thinking that she was gonna meet somebody like Prince. Let's not sound dumb. We don't know any Prince there. That's in London. Okay, never mind. Okay, so pack enough, but not too much, okay? Enough that will benefit you for the week. I would say leave some space. Don't go over, because you're going to end up buying things while you're there. So yeah. Okay. Question 4. How do I decide which country to study abroad in? With me, it was all about my major, what I was studying. Like I said before the video started, well, at the beginning of the video, I said that my minor was France. France. My minor is French. So for me, deciding what country to study was based off of the language. You don't want to study France and you in Japan. Like, sis, how you gonna communicate if you never studied Japanese? You don't want to study Japanese and you in dang on Africa. Like, how you gonna communicate? Nobody speak. Well, if you go to Congo, there's some Japanese people in Congo. They be speaking Lingala. Like, they listen. Just go places where you know you are studying the language before you get there, okay? I speak French fluently. So for me, going to France was pretty cool. I could have went to some place in Africa, but I wanted to go to France, okay? Because I was born in Africa. That's another visit, okay? But I wanted to go back to France just because it's pretty. It fits my vibe. So yeah, it all depends on what country and what language you're studying. Be careful where you're going. Make sure that they are speaking the language and you are understanding the language. Hi, bye is not understanding the language, okay? Anybody can say hi and anybody can say bye. Make sure you're able to have sentences coming out your mouth and communicating with whomever if you need to communicate. So it's important to go somewhere where they're speaking the language that you're studying. That's how you decide. And another way of answering this question, also look at the population and the environment around you. If you want to go somewhere where it's a lot richer, look it up. With me, I had two decisions to make. Part of me wanted to study in Morocco, and I thought about it. Morocco is not as, you know, higher there than France. You want to go somewhere that suits your environment. At the same time, if you're used to luxurious places, if you're used to cars, if you're used to beautiful bed settings, sleeping comfortable. So I know I look a hot mess, but in the middle of my editing process, I realized that I left out the most important part of this entire video, and that is looking at tuition cost. You want to make sure that you are paying attention to how much the university tuition costs before you apply if you're trying to study overseas. So for me, it was very important for me to pay attention to how much the whole entire year will cost me in order for me to attend if I was going to go on to my whole entire process of studying a whole year in France. So for me, when I was looking at schools to study for my whole entire semester, my fall semester, which is from August to December, my tuition cost was very important. I didn't want to apply to a university that costs a lot more there than it does here, to the point where my government, the financial aid, couldn't cover it. So pay attention to how much the tuition costs and see if you can afford the tuition and if financial aid is willing to pay for that tuition cost. If that made sense, if I didn't make sense, just Google it. Okay, let's go back to this video. You want to go somewhere where you're able to be comfortable while you're there. Go somewhere that suits you. That's how you can decide where to study. Number 5, will studying abroad slow me down on the road to graduation? No, it won't. It all depends on how soon you do it. With me, I did it before my junior year. I did the summer going into my junior year in college, which was beneficial for me. You want to do it while you're at the beginning, but not so much in the end of college, because you just never know. You just never know. Sometimes your credit won't transfer. You want to do it in the middle. So I would say do it around your sophomore year, particularly your sophomore year. It won't slow down your graduation, your road to graduation, if you're doing it, if it lines up to your credits and your classes. What I did was, for me to get my minor, I had to do it. It lined up to my credits and it lined up towards me graduating with a minor. So yeah, it all depends on your minor, or if you're doing it just to do it, make sure you have all your credits down before you do it just to do it. But if you're doing it to get a minor or to get undergrad, diploma, make sure everything that you're doing lines up with your graduation credits. So yeah. 6, which is the best year to study abroad as a undergrad student? For me, like I said, your sophomore year going into your junior year of college was the best year for me, because freshman year they don't really let you do a lot because you're a freshman. They want you to get used to the school and used to your classes. But once you get into sophomore year, you're a little bit free compared to your freshman year. And your junior year, that's like when you're into your programs, you're getting into your major and stuff like that. I did it going into the summer of my junior year. So ending my sophomore year, I decided to do the study abroad program because I was already done with my foreign language classes and I just needed 2 more to get my minor in French. So I decided to take on the ambassador trip to study abroad. It all depends. I would say your sophomore going into your junior year, or if you got everything down as far as your major and your credits and all that, you could also do it your junior year. Senior year for me is kind of risky, but I would say either your sophomore year or your junior year. Just don't push it towards your senior year. Some people are able to do it, but for me that's a little bit risky. I don't know if I could do it. That's a little bit risky. I wouldn't do your senior year. Last question is, what is the cheapest way to study abroad? For me, the cheapest way was taking a class. I was looking online to just study abroad, and it's a lot more expensive than being in school and taking a class that will allow you to study abroad. Because the university, if you are underneath financial aid, which is the government paying for your school, it's a lot more cheaper compared to someone that's paying out of pocket. For me, it was cheaper taking the class instead of going a full year without the class. You can still get the school to pay for your classes overseas. It all depends on how you are with your student loans and how, you know, if you're in good term with them. That's a good way to put it. If you are in a good term with your financial aid, it shouldn't be a problem. Hopefully that made sense. So let me rephrase all that. I found it cheaper taking a class that would allow me to travel overseas to study abroad, compared to somebody that would take it via that would sign up to get into a college in France, if that makes sense. Because the financial part, but like, you know, differences with that. If you sign up outside of a university trying to get into a university in France, it's a lot more costly compared to somebody that's already in a university in the United States or wherever you're at, and using the university student loan that you're already using for classes to get you to sign up in Europe. Hopefully that made sense. I don't know if that made sense, but the cheapest way is take classes here that will help you sign up there. I've rephrased it, reworded it different ways. Hopefully that made sense, and hopefully that was helpful. But as far as studying abroad, do not be afraid. Yes, you will experience culture shock. I had friends, classmates that experienced that while we were up there. Because I'm a foreigner myself, it wasn't as bad as theirs. Yes, I did have that, you know, I did experience a little bit of it because I grew up in America and I'm already used to the life in America. But it wasn't as bad as someone that, you know, traveling, going out the country for the first time. As far as, I had somebody send me a question via DM about experiencing racism. It all depends where you're at. I personally didn't experience racism. Racism is everywhere. Even if you don't experience it, you could feel the tension. That's my perspective on it. Even if you don't witness it, you could still feel the tension of someone not feeling you around them. So yeah, that's about it. Thank you guys so much for watching. Hopefully I made sense. Hopefully I answered enough questions for those who are trying to study abroad. And hopefully I didn't just jibber jabber, because I feel like when I do videos like this I jibber jabber. And hopefully you enjoy wherever you're going, and hopefully you have fun. God bless you, and live life to the fullest. Thank you guys for watching, and I'll see you guys in my next video. Bye guys.